Have you ever told yourself, "Tomorrow I'll change," only to wake up and scroll your phone like an Olympic athlete, while your dreams lie there as still as dried fish? It's not that you lack goals. It's not that you lack plans. You're just missing one thing, the push that finally gets you out of your comfort zone. And strangely enough, the more we want to change, the more excuses we create to not rush it. Sounds familiar? If it does, then this story is for you. In a small village, there was a young and talented blacksmith. Everyone believed he was destined for something big, everyone except him. Until one day, a stranger showed up and said a single sentence that completely changed the course of his life. If you've ever been a starting tomorrow kind of person like me, drop one word, tomorrow, so we can laugh about it together. Ethan had a strange habit. Every morning he'd walk into his forge like a commander marching into battle, and then walk right back out. The hammer sat untouched on the anvil. The glowing iron bars waited to be shaped, and Ethan would settle into his old wooden chair, sip his tea, and mumble to himself, "I'm a bit tired today. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll be better tomorrow." At first, no one cared. The villagers still adored him for his rare talent. But day by day, Ethan's forge turned into a museum of unfinished work. Farmer Harlan's plow was missing an iron tip. The guards' swords were only half sharpened. The tailor's door hooks lay forgotten in a dusty corner like abandoned promises. As planting season crept closer, impatience began to bloom. Out on the fields, farmers had to use cracked, dull plows that tore up the soil unevenly. At the village gates, guards patrolled with blades thin as onion leaves. Rumors spread like wildfire. Ethan's talented at dreaming. One afternoon, Daniel, his childhood friend, came to see him. Daniel was a farmer, hands always stained with earth, eyes bright with the grit of someone who works for a living. He looked at the pile of half-finished metal and asked softly, "Ethan, how long are you planning to leave things like this?" Ethan gave a weak laugh. "I'm just not really in the mood lately. Once I feel ready, I'll finish everything in one go." Daniel stood silent for a moment, then spoke slowly, as if placing stones one by one on the table. "You know, the soil doesn't wait for a farmer to feel inspired before it grows crops. Plows don't fix themselves. Swords don't sharpen themselves. You're not lacking talent, Ethan. You're avoiding responsibility." The words hit harder than any hammer stroke. Ethan wanted to argue, but nothing came out. Daniel left, and the forge felt heavier than ever. Then came the looks from the villagers. Farmer Harlan stepped inside, stared at the half-finished plow, and sighed, "If I don't get this by the end of the week, my whole season's ruined, Ethan." Children passing the forge whispered, "He's really talented. So why is he always sleeping?" Ethan heard it all, every word, and every time he hid behind new promises. Tomorrow. After the festival. When I feel better. The more promises he made, the thinner he felt, like that unfinished sword. Until one morning the village chief himself arrived, not with gentleness like Daniel, but with the weight of someone responsible for everyone. "Ethan, the village needs you, but you're making things worse. If you keep delaying, you won't just lose your work, you'll lose our trust." He left without anger, but with enough cold truth to make Ethan's spine tighten. For the first time, Ethan realized a dream of becoming a great blacksmith means nothing if he can't even finish the smallest task. That night, Ethan sat alone in the forge. Moonlight glimmered on the unfinished blade. He ran a hand along its cold metal, feeling like he was touching his own uselessness. "I want to succeed," he whispered, "but I can't even beat my own habits." The more he thought, the more fear rose. Fear of being tired, fear of failing, fear of starting and discovering he wasn't as good as he believed. Those fears wove themselves into a soft blanket that smothered every intention to act. He felt small, smaller than the pile of undone work around him. Then came the sound of hooves stopping outside. An old man stepped down from his horse. Silver hair, straight back, eyes that had weathered countless storms. He introduced himself as Samuel, a master blacksmith who traveled far and heard not only of Ethan's talent, but his procrastination. Samuel looked around the forge, not judging, just smiling. "I see a lot of good steel here, and not a lot of finished work." Ethan lowered his head. "I know. I just don't know how to simply get myself to start." Samuel nodded, as if he'd heard that same confession 100 times. "You think your problem is lack of motivation, right?" Ethan's eyes lit up. "Yes. When I'm motivated, I work great, but motivation doesn't stay." Samuel chuckled. "Then try waiting for steel to heat itself. Does it heat?" Ethan blinked. Samuel stepped closer, voice gentle yet unyielding. "Motivation is like the wind, some days strong, some days gone. Discipline is the fire in the furnace. You have to light it yourself, every day." He lifted a hammer. "There's only one secret. Do it even when you don't want to. Start small. Don't wait to feel ready. Just give it 5 minutes. If you push through 5, you'll get to 10. Get through 10, and you'll keep going." A spark flared in Ethan's mind. Not excitement, but clarity. For the first time, the path ahead didn't look like a giant leap, just a step. The next morning, Ethan walked into the forge with the same familiar heaviness. His body wanted to sit and sip tea. His mind whispered, "A day off won't hurt." But he remembered Samuel's words. Just 5 minutes. He lit the furnace, placed the iron bar inside. The fire wasn't even hot yet, and he was already tired. His arm felt like it was lifting stone. Each hammer strike felt like hitting an invisible wall inside him. 5 minutes, he muttered. When the sand in the hourglass emptied, he was breathless. And then, something strange happened. He didn't want to stop. The iron softened beautifully. The hammer grew lighter. He worked another 10 minutes, then 15. By evening, a brand new plow head gleamed on his workbench. Not perfect, but finished. Ethan stared at it like it was magic. The magic of simply beginning. Day 2, the heaviness returned before sunrise. He almost quit. He touched his teacup, then pulled his hand back. Just 5 minutes. He worked. He pushed through. That day, he sharpened his first sword in weeks. The guard's surprised smile felt like sunlight. Day 3, day 4. Some days he worked fast, some slow. But every day he showed up. No waiting for motivation. No waiting for a right moment. No waiting for a miracle. Each night, the pile of unfinished work shrank. Each morning, Ethan felt a little stronger. Villagers returned, not to complain, but to place new orders. The children didn't whisper anymore. They stood in awe, watching sparks fly. Week after week, the forge transformed. And so did the man working in it. Months later, when Samuel returned, he didn't find a dreamer staring out the window. He found a blacksmith, wiping sweat from his brow beside rows of new plows and swords shining like water. Samuel asked only one question. "Different now, isn't it?" Ethan smiled, not the smile of a dreamer, but of someone who wins small battles every day. "Very different. I still have lazy days, but I don't let them run my life anymore." And in that moment, Ethan finally understood. It wasn't a single breakthrough that changed him. It was the hundreds of tiny days where he did one small thing, even when he didn't want to. Every strike that shaped the steel was shaping him too. From then on, Ethan's story became a reminder for the whole village. If you want your life to change, don't wait for the right feeling. Light the fire, lift the hammer, take the first swing, just one. The second will follow. So that's how it really happened. Ethan didn't become a great blacksmith because of one magical motivated day. He became one because of the hundreds of days he showed up even when he didn't want to. And if you've listened this far and feel a little bit like Ethan yourself, don't stay quiet. Earlier you commented tomorrow just for fun, but now it's time to answer for real. Do you think tomorrow is an enemy you need to cut off? Or just a sweet excuse you keep telling yourself? Comment one sentence. Tomorrow is the enemy if you're ready to break the cycle, or tomorrow's still okay if you've got a solid reason to defend it. Be honest. I want to see which team is bigger,